Māori Cup winners perhaps in 2 years or even next year. And this is very much the who's who of schoolboy rowing. It is the boys under 16 8. It'll be St Kentigern College who will start in 1, St Andrews College who will start in 2, Christ College in 3, Christchurch Boys High School in 4, St Peter's College out of Auckland in 5, Westlake Boys in 6, Auckland Grammar in 7, and Hamilton Boys High School in 8. All traditional powerhouses, whether it be in rowing, whether it be in rugby, football, maybe some of those more traditional sports. They are great schools in their own rights. They've got great legacies, and now they come together to try and battle for national honours in another one of the Blue Ribbon events. It's the boys under 16 Cox 8 that is up next. So these 8 fabulous crews from 8 fabulous schools start to now line themselves up. St Peter's College looking to try and win a gold medal, but the challenges will come from Christchurch Boys High School and the likes of Christ's. Talking about St Peter's College, we've got Alex Kennedy alongside of us. You've rowed with a number of former old boys out of St Peter's.
Yeah, Stephen Jones, who was he stroked out under 23 8 to 2-time world championships, and then he stroked us at the Rio Games. So Stephen Jones is a proud St Peter's old boy. He won the 17 single and the 17 quad for St Peter's back in the day. Did a little bit of rugby, I think, back in the day also with Pat Tuipulotu. So
yeah, no, very, very good rugby school. A lot of very good players have come out of Mark Talia, a whole lot have come out of St Peter's, Bryn Hall.
Yeah, this will be the St Peter's here, one of the favourites going into this race. They had a fast heat to get in, so they'll be looking to snatch one of their first golds of the regatta, but they'll have to take it off the boys from Otatahi between Christ College and Christchurch Boys High School, also going very quick in the heat, so it'll be a good tussle between those middle 3.
Well, the St Peter's College group is Ethan Barker, Cooper Mowbray, James Mowat, Thomas Dolan, Arthur Yeoward, Benjamin Davison, Rueben Golds-Uili, and Flynn Russell. Oscar Molloy is their cox. Their coaches are Cameron Patten and Dom Dury, and of course for the first time in their history they will have an 8 in the Men's Māori Cup final, which is set to go at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Christ College, I believe, which is always good to see. A little bit of sibling rivalry in the coaching, but we're away now, and the boys 16-8, all vinegar off the start. The boys are loose.
In fact, that Cox, that Māori Cup set to go up 10 minutes to 5. My apologies, but we are underway in a very big race. A race maybe looking into the future of future Māori Cup winners, and it is immediately across there in lane 4. And that is Christchurch Boys High School, who have the narrowest of leads at the moment. But Christchurch Boys High School just shadowing them, as is Westlake in lane 6. We haven't talked too much about Westlake, but we know that their program is very much up on the rise. And Hamilton Boys High School, well, in the big red sled of Jack Ramsey, Lachlan Douglas, Rion Ormsby Harris, Thomas Priest, Carl Murray, Joshua Wesley and Seth Davis, Corbin Campbell, Ryan Ollington there, Cox. They're deciding to be relatively aggressive as well. I tell you what, throw it all at them. Just see who blinks first. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
And we talked earlier about the conditions and what these boats are in. So tailwind conditions, shorter races, fast races, and the 8 is the fastest boat out of the whole lot. So if they can get out and drag race, then they're going to hold that momentum.
So through that 500 metre mark, and it is Hamilton Boys High School.
Big races as well, Hamilton Boys. As long as Bruce Holden's been there, they've always turned up on the day.
Yeah, wonderful program. They have won 13 Māori Cups, and they are the defending champions in that. They will have the challenges this afternoon coming from the likes of St. Bede's. They've been very strategic in terms of the way they are setting up for that setting up for that Māori Cup.
St. Peter's on the move now. They've just pushed past a little bit of Christchurch boys who led them out of the immediate start, but they're looking to overhaul these boys on the outside. The boys from just up the road from Hamilton Boys. So we've got Christchurch Boys High School, St. Peter's College out of Auckland, and Hamilton Boys right in front of you in lane 8 here. So great race here for the 16-8. As we predicted, it was always going to be tight with some races coming through.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody just picked Hamilton Boys High School. I mean, the fact you're starting in those outside lanes, but we know the pedigree. And sometimes you don't necessarily have a great week. Some crews will just get better as they go. You can turn up some days and you just have a slightly bad day and things don't go your way. So it's still Hamilton Boys High School, St. Peter's College of Auckland, Christchurch Boys High School in lane 4, Christ College still in touch across there in lane 3. So it's a really, really even race as we start to approach the 1,000 metre mark, and then we will get halfway through this race. Now tactically, who decides to attack through this third 500 metres? It's St. Peter's College of Auckland, who have half a canvas boat lead over Christchurch Boys High School.
Yeah, St. Peter's really shown their pedigree here. They were, like I said, one of the fastest to come through the preliminary races, and they're looking to kick on. A lot of people have those preconceived
preordained.
That's the one. The moves through the 1K, and so St. Peter's, this is their 1K move, and it's going to be a prolonged one as they enter into the third 5, and it looks like it's doing exactly what they wanted. So great work coming from the Cox and Oscar Molloy to execute the game plan going away.
Yeah, it is very much no man's land. You have come 1,000 metres. You don't have the crowds. You've only got a few trees there to sort of look at. Mentally, you're tired. You're committed. There is no beat plan. You're not wanting to let each other down. So it's not just physically tough, incredibly tough mentally. And it is still St. Peter's, though, half a boat length ahead of Christchurch Boys. Across there in lane 4, Hamilton Boys High School still in the fight. And across the far side, Christ College currently sitting in third.
Yeah, the big black and white machine out of Christchurch, Christ College. We haven't really talked about them too much, but they were also fairly quick in the heats to come through to this final, and no surprise to see them lurking with intent, climbing up Christchurch Boys. They'll be wary, Christchurch Boys. Christ College know how to execute in these big 8, so Finnian, Chan-Allan, Max Airey, Will Richards, Geordie Pavey, George Wilson, James Hadden, Mark Reidie, George Young, and the coxswain is Jonty Gray, and he's cracking the whip now as the black and white machine starts to roll up on the boys from Otatahi Boys High School.
Yeah, so 1,500 metres through this journey. Now we're into that 500 metre zone. This is where it really starts to hurt. This is where we find out whether maybe they've gone out just a little bit too hard through that first 1,000. Hamilton Boys High School's just starting to struggle, but the big mover coming now. Christ College in lane 3, starting to get that bow nice and high out of the water. And also Christchurch Boys High School just trying to shut down St. Peter's. So it is game on.
As 1K move St. Peter's just kicked them clear. They haven't got any further away, but they're holding on really well. And I don't, like I said, the 8s are really, they are fast boats. They don't slow down much. So someone's going to do something outstanding from the Christchurch schools to try and roll them, but I don't see it happening at this stage.
Okay, that camera angle maybe not telling us just the truth here at the moment, but it is still St. Peter's out of Auckland. They're one of the smaller schools. They're about 100 metres down the road from Auckland Grammar. A little bridge separates the two schools. When they play rugby, it's known as the Battle of the Bridge, but it is St. Peter's now who start to extend, who start to push. We start to see the rating begin to increase from Christchurch Boys High School in 4, and out to their right-hand side will be Christ College. But it's still St. Peter's. They're hanging tough. Christ now beginning to make a move up on Christchurch Boys.
Yeah, ruthless from St. Peter's. That's a deserved victory from the boys from Auckland. Congratulations to that score and their first gold medal at this Māori Cup.
And look what it means to them. Look at the emotion. They are absolutely thrilled. Second place will go the way of Christchurch boys. Third will go the way of Christ College. But nobody can deny gold medals to St Peter's College. Congratulations to Ethan Barker, Cooper Mowbray, James Mowat, Thomas Dolan, Arthur Yeoward, Benjamin Davison, Rueben Golds-Uili, and Flynn Russell. Their coxswain, Oscar Molloy. Congratulations to their coaches, Cameron Patten and Dom Dury.
Yeah, great to see that they've obviously done really well on the sculling side of things in the last few years with the Arnerich boys and the Coomeriches and the likes rowing out of West End. So it's really great to see them putting their, dipping their toes in the sweeping bucket a little bit more and getting after it, and getting that first eights title is just fantastic. Well executed race and really kicked on just after the halfway mark. So really well run race by Oscar Molloy, but also really, really well reacted to by his crew. Nice commitment in that second half to go together.
Coming up next, it will be the girls under 17 coxless pair. It'll feature St Margaret's College, Epsom Girls Grammar, Ashburton